Hi guys, George Packard, Family Lawn and Landscape. Today with Truck Talk, we're going to talk about all the BS that you hear on YouTube. So we'll be right back with that information. Hello everybody, George Packard, Family Lawn and Landscape, and the topic of Truck Talk today is going to be all the bullshit that you hear on YouTube and why you shouldn't listen to half of it. I get frustrated because a lot of guys give false hopes out there. And there's a lot of things that annoy me, and I try and stay out of all the drama, BS that's out there because there is so much of it. Sometimes you get involved in that stuff and it just isn't worth it. But for me, like when I go on the internet, if I go on YouTube and I'm looking for information about things, I can't stand going on there and watching guys talk about things that they truly have no clear understanding of their industry or their business. And it frustrates me. There's so many guys out there in the lawn care industry that are complete idiots that don't know what they're talking about. You know, they're quick to shut down things. You know, I remember when I came out with the first time I came out with me offering my internet services from my personal guy, because that's our #1 marketing tool. And there were a lot of guys that were like, oh, I don't even need the internet, and I'm this, that, and the other, and I do just fine. And I'm thinking to myself, no, you don't. You're an idiot, because if you're out to grow your business, which is what my channel is about, helping people grow their business, okay, then yeah, you need to be more involved in the internet. So, but then you have other guys that come back that bash that, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about because they're missing the boat. They're not doing the internet, so they don't know anything about it. So what do? They bash it. Well, or they tried the internet and they were unsuccessful at it. So what do? They bash me. You know, things like that is just ridiculous. That probably pisses me off more than anything, because there's a lot of people out there trying to grow their business and trying to learn everything they can, every little tidbit of information they can along the way to help them grow their business. And then you got idiots out there that just don't know what they're talking about. And you don't realize you have a lot of vulnerable people that are eating up that information, and they're going to do what you tell them, you know, a lot of times. So if you're giving them shitty information, you led them guys down the wrong path, and you should be ashamed for doing it. So that just pisses me off when I see that all the time. I hated to even make this video, but I just get so tired of seeing it all the time. You know, it drives me crazy. It affects people's lives. Every decision you make affects somebody. When you do a video on something, it affects them one way or the other. So I don't know. There's the false hopes that people give, that they make it look like everything is so easy, and yeah, make $1,000 in a day in lawn care or landscaping or whatever, you know, and they make it look so easy that other people think they can just up and do that, when they may not possess the skills, that they haven't gone through the marketing challenges that lay in front of them or things like that. And I think the false hopes drive me crazy. You know, just falls right into the get rich quick, you know. Yeah, you can get rich quick if you do this or if you do that, you know. I mean, there's so many baby steps you got to take on all these different avenues in order to grow your company and grow it big. It does take time, you know. I can give you tips to help you grow your company, grow your business, but if you don't implement them one at a time and just keep moving forward all the time, you're going to have a lot of trouble growing your business, and you're going to hit a lot of snags that you weren't aware of. So I'm just tired of the guys that give the crap out there that don't understand the business, you know. Spending your money, you know, in the lawn care business, there's not a ton of money in it, and there's a lot of guys that, I mean, there can be, don't get me wrong, you have to do everything right to get there, but there's a lot of guys out there that don't have a lot of money, and then when they listen to bad advice from somebody like, oh yeah, you got to do these postcard mailings, and oh yeah, you're going to get rich quick off of them, and you're going to get 20% response rate and all this crap, you know. These are guys that actually have not done it, because when they give you stupid figures like that, they're just ridiculous, because I don't know if they're getting a kickback from the postcard company or what, but there's nowhere near that type of response that I've ever had. So having said that, my channel versus others, I'll tell you how I feel about things. I've always tried to grow my business and help people grow their business. There's a lot of channels out there that are guys that are not trying to grow their business. They're comfortable with their 50 accounts or 30 accounts or whatever they have, and that's fine too. But when you honestly have guys out there that are trying hard to make everything work, and they can't make it work because they're listening to such bullshit from all these other guys, they're not listening to guys who actually know this business, who actually know the industry, you know. So that's got to change. You know, I look at it like this: you have a limited amount of time to get things done, and you have a limited amount of time in your life to spend studying YouTube, spend reading, spend marketing, because you're so busy doing all these other things. You have so many hats on. So why take the time to listen to the nonsense from all these bullshit guys that do not know what they're talking about? What you need to do is look at the guys that do know what they're talking about. Look at the guys that are proven. Look at the guys that do have good, successful companies. Those are the guys you should be following their advice, because they're telling you something because they know they've done it, and you know they've done it. You've done your research. You know they have businesses in different states, or you know they have a big business where they're at, or whatever. Not these guys that have been in business for 5 years or whatever, and, you know, they know it all. They have all the answers, and, you know, things like that. You waste your time with these guys. So if you're trying to grow your business, if you want to be entertained, them are the guys I guess you want to watch just for pure entertainment purposes. But just know that it's entertainment, okay? So anyway, hope this helps. George Packard, Family Lawn and Landscape. Thanks for watching. Leave me your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.